the Daily Ramble podcast. Good morning, you lovely Hammers fans. I hope you're all well. Nick from Claret and Booze, the morning show, or Claret and Brew as I've just renamed it. That's what it was always going to be, actually. I hope you're all well. Tuesday, still got a bit of the way of the week to go, but we've got the Euros to keep us occupied today. I think there's only two games though, isn't there? I think there's only two games today, but the games yesterday were a bit of a surprise. I mean, no one would have called Belgium getting beat, and what was the other one? Romania spanking Ukraine as well. That was that was a bit of a shock. They looked good, didn't they, Romania? As always, if you are new to this channel, please subscribe. Drop a like on the video because it is a go shift, as I say every single morning. It does really, really help this time in the morning. So please get your thumbs up on there. It tells YouTube to share it around. Keeps me motivated as well. It does keep me motivated. A little bit tired today, but I'll be all right. Right, let's go to the chat. Who we got in there? So we've got usual suspects. Good morning, Adrian Whitfield, Tony. We've got Louis, Stefan. Good morning. We've got James. We've got Green Badge, Nicola, Hammers, Gary. Morning, Drano. Stuart's with us. Good morning. Stevie Bell, Ben Howe, Top Man, Leslie Barden. Trying to find unique names. What we got? We got Happy, Iggy Goes Pop, Ash Nugent, Neil Patterson, Ian Pryor, Tony. We've got Lee Pettigrew. We've got Bodge, Anthony, John Williams, Stephen Skiver from Somerset. And you are Stephen Skiver from Somerset, aren't you? I'm sure you are. And the Doghouse as well. Darren Higgins. That's it. Right, okay. Right, what we're going to do today, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Jacob Greaves and obviously Matthias Soulé as well. Very, very quickly, briefly touch on those, and then I'm going to go straight to your questions. So I did, because a lot of what I want to talk about is covered in the questions anyway. It's quite a lot in there. I reached out late last night because I'm doing these every day. And, you know, usually on this channel, we don't do shows for the sake of it. It's not something we typically do. So sometimes we're going to find it difficult. So you guys really, really helped me out yesterday with some last night with some questions. So I'm going to go through all those shortly. Before I go anywhere, I haven't done this for a couple of weeks. If you are new to the channel and you're not aware, we're sponsored by the Kent and Sussex Tea and Coffee Company. You can find their link to the description of every video. They've been our sponsor now for bloody ages. I can't even remember when they came on board with us. They're all West Ham fans. Look, everyone loves their tea and coffee, all right? I know you'd all be thinking, Claret and Booze, you should be sponsored by a beer company. But no, we like our tea and coffee. And the guy that runs it is fantastic as well. So please head over there. Brilliant place. Far better value than the supermarkets as well. And if you use our discount code, Claret15, you get 15% off. All right? Okay, so Jacob Greaves. We spoke about this a little while ago. And it sort of materialised that he was going to be going to Fulham. You know, I thought we'd missed the boat on that. But as it's turned out now, looking at the latest reports, it looks as though the player wants to join West Ham over Fulham. He's got his heart set on West Ham, and I think that would be a fantastic appointment. He is left-sided, I believe. He's 23 as well, 23, 24. Really, really sort of fits the profile of what we're trying to build at West Ham. A very modern centre-back, but with an old school edge. You know, loves a tackle. Very, very tall. Very, very commanding. He's a captain of Hull. He's a fantastic talent. A really, really good player. So, I think he would be a definite upgrade on Aguerd, and it'd cost half the money. In fact, it'd be more than cost neutral, because I think if we do move Aguerd on, we're gonna make a bit of a loss on him. No more than about 5 million. I think he'll go somewhere because he's still highly regarded in Europe. There's rumours that Rennes are interested in taking him back there, but they won't be taking him back for peanuts. So that's happened to us too many times in the past, or at least I hope it doesn't happen. So I think we'll get about 25 million for Aguerd, go out and get Jacob Greaves for about 15 million. I mean, that's unbelievable business. He's a better defender. He's better. It would be brilliant. So I might do a bit of a dedicated show on him if it looks like that's kind of moving on. But he would be a real top signing for us. Also ticks that homegrown quota box as well, which is really, really important. I'll tell you what we'll do. So what we got here, Jacob Greaves. So he's predominantly left-footed. Yeah, so brilliant. Oh, look, coffee on wheels. Thank you very much. Oh, don't let him in. Oh, shit. Oh, no. There's about to be an earthquake. All right, okay. Be good, please, Henry. Be good. Don't fuck around. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll go into your questions now as well. It's made me nervous, that is now. Right. Dog's a psycho. Okay. Let's pull up. Okay. Let's go into... Let's go into the feed. Like, I reached out to you lot late last night for some questions. Let's start at the top. So Stevie Bell says, has Benny completed his move or is he coming back? I don't think Benny's going to be coming back. I can't see it. The issue with that deal is that Leon have got financial issues. They want him. They want the player. But from what I understand, I don't know that they're going to be able to complete the deal. If they... We could have a situation here where Ben Rama is apparently sort of insisting that he goes to Leon. He's very, very happy there. But at the same time, he did finish that season really bloody well. So he finished last season really well from January onwards. He looked bloody good. So I don't think we'll find any issues selling him to someone else. So if it's not Leon, then it probably I can't see him coming back. I think his time at West Ham is done. Are you going to sleep up here? Yeah, good boy. Let's see how long that lasts. Cheers, Steve. Simon Leach says, what is everybody's favourite Euros or World Cup finals? Mine was Euro 96, the Gaza goal against Scotland and the game against Holland, 4-1. Yeah. Euro 96, I think, was everyone's favourite. But prior to that, do you know the one that sort of sticks in my mind? I know it wasn't so much a Euros, was it? It wasn't a Euros, it was a World Cup, wasn't it? It was Italia 90. Italia 90 for me was fucking brilliant. Just love the music. But that was you know, I can still remember it as if it was yesterday, and I was 10. Amazing tournament that was. I loved every minute of that. They did that tournament really well, didn't they? They certainly got the music right. They got the music bang on. I'm not going to bang out Pavarotti, don't worry. Christopher Manning says, "Hi Nick, who do you think we're gonna sell this summer? And who are we going to get in to bolster our defence, centre-backs and full-backs, especially the right-back position where I think we are light?" Okay, I'm glad you asked. I didn't even see that question. I did do a little bit of prep, so I'll just whiz through them for you. So I was playing Director of Football last night. My own little game. And I thought, right, if I'm Tim Schneiten, who am I going to sign? So I thought, right, as it stands at the moment, if this is my job... and let's say, for argument's sake, I've got 100 million to spend. I've got 100 million. This is what I would be looking at doing if it was my little piggy bank that I've got to work with if I was Tim Schneiten. So goalkeeper Areola and Fabs, I'm happy with that. I wouldn't focus. I know you're all gonna scream at me, but initially I wouldn't focus on right back and left back because I don't think we're going to be using right backs and left backs in every game. I think we're going to be playing that 3-4-3, and I think the wide players are going to be wingers. And I think the fullbacks are only going to be used in certain instances when we want to switch it up or you want to put more defensive-minded players into those wide areas. But I do think you're going to be seeing, for the most part, attacking players in those areas, which is why we're linked with so many bloody wingers. So, Johnson and Soufal, that's fine. So you got two in that position. Right back, Emerson and Cresswell, fine. You know, with Scholes as backup. Ain't got to do anything in that position. This is... Just bear with me. Centre-backs, obviously, Oggy has been released. I'd sell Aguirre for about 20 million, 25 million. Zuma's going to go. I'd let him go on a free. I'd buy in Jacob Greaves for about 14 million. Nian Perez as well for around about the same, 15, 16 million. And maybe, possibly one more backup, you know, like a Dawson-esque style signing. Go and get like an old battler to sort of come in just to give us some some coverage at the back, because don't forget we've got Casey as well. Because then what you've got is you've got Dinos, you've got Greaves, you've got Perez, and if you're playing a back three, that only gives you Casey as a backup. I know you've got Alvarez who could slot back in there in an emergency, but I do think we need at least one more defender. This is what we've been left with, right? So that's what I'll do there in defence. Bear with me. Right, Alvarez. Central midfield. I'd sell Souček and I'd sell James Ward-Prowse. 15 quid a pop each. 30 million quid I'd make. I know that means that we've made a loss on James Ward-Prowse, but I don't care. I'm thinking about this window. I'm thinking about rebuilding. So I'd sell Souček and I'd sell James Ward-Prowse, and I would buy in Yusuf Fofana for 15 million. So in the midfield department, so in defence, when you consider we've bought in Perez and Jacob Greaves, but we've sold Aguirre, we've probably spent about 10 million in defence. In midfield, by selling Souček and James Ward-Prowse and bringing in Fofana, you've made 15 million. So we're up a bit of money here. I'll tell you what the maths works out to in a minute. So that gives us a midfield options of Alvarez, Fofana, Paqueta, Downs, Potts, and Murphy. Fine. What's wrong with that? Absolutely bugger all. Attacking midfielders. So look, I'd sell Cornet. He's got to go. Benrahma, I forgot about Benrahma. He's got to go as well. So that's going to give us a little bit more money. But they would both go. We've brought in Guilherme. I would bring in John Arias from Fluminense for 13 million. That's what we're rumoured to be signing this geezer for. He's fucking mustard. 13 million. And he's ready to go. He's 26 as well. We'd go straight in. It'd be fantastic. Proper left winger as well. And Sule, I've got my heart set on. I've really, really got my heart set on this player. I'm convinced that he is the Paqueta replacement. He's the playmaker. You know, I know he's played out on the wing, but he's quite a big lump as well. He's 6 foot or 6'1", so he's big for a winger. But he is more of a creative force. He's just outstanding. I do believe that he would be the Paqueta replacement. That would be my opinion. He's left-footed as well. Everyone's left-footed who we're linked with. So that would give us attacking midfield options. Left wing, the 10, and right wing of Kudus, Bowen, Guilherme, Arias, and Sule. You can't knock that, can you? You can't knock that at all. And strikers, I would just bring in the one, and I'd keep Antonio as a backup. Because we've got Bowen and players like that who can go and slot in as and when we need to. So I think that'd be enough. You're not going to be able to have... West Ham can't have... We're not in Europe. We can't have a big-name striker sitting on the bench. So what's the point? Unless we can go out and get a kid who wants to play backup for not much money, that's what I would do. So I would bring in someone like John Duran. And I would bring in John Duran because he is Premier League proven now. He is as well. And I think that we could get him for around about 30 million. I do believe that. I'd rather him than end the series. I would. 20 years old. The ceiling's up here. Fantastic player. And we've got Antonio there as well, who would be an amazing impact player. And obviously you would sell Ings. Now, what that would give us is 2 players in every position. More in midfield. And that would be a total spend of 81 million. We could have that team. So this is what I mean. We're rumoured to have around about 130. Now bear that in mind. If you've just done that and you've got 50 million left, then you can go and sort your fullback positions out and go and buy a couple of fullbacks. We've got money to spend. If we do our business wisely and we cut a few players, like I said to you, just sell the ones you don't fucking need. Even if you sell them at a loss, think about this window and moving onwards. Sell Aguirre, sell James Ward-Prowse, sell Souček, increase that pot, go out, reinvest, and we go again. Does that answer your question? See, done a bit of prep for that one, and I didn't even know you was going to ask a question. Sam Oak says, who's going to get the captain's armband next season? He answers a question for me as well, because it would be Alvarez. I would absolutely love Alvarez to get the armband next season. I think he would be... He's a natural. He's a born leader, the guy. He really, really is. I love him. It's got to be Alvarez or Bowen, but I think Alvarez is just more... That's more him, isn't it? Hammers Mikey says, everyone stole my question, Nick. So here's a simple, probably daft one, but what is your all-time favourite Euros or World Cup goal of all time from the likes of Gaza, Van Basten, etc.? Oh, as you've mentioned, Gaza. It probably would be that goal against Scotland. You know, the one where he, what were that in the celebration as well? The one where he flicked it over Colin Hendry's head and went and buried it. That was special, wasn't it? Gary was at that game as well. Lucky git. But yeah, probably would be Gaza. There's been some wonderful goals, haven't there? There really has. Not so much in this tournament. It's been a bit boring on that front. Well, Alex showing off. Evening, Nick, from a very warm Tenerife. He says he knows it's early days yet in regards to tactics, players coming and going. But do you have any expectations for this season, or what should the fans expect this season? Are we accepting a free hit, or should we be aiming for a strong finish and some cup runs? I think we should be aiming for a strong finish and some cup runs. We should be. That should be the target, because I know it's not easy setting a new philosophy and all the crap that we've said before. I know it's not easy to do that, but we should definitely be aiming for a top half finish and some cup runs at the very minimum. I think, it's not the end of the world if it doesn't happen, but I think it's all down to how you start the season. I think if we start well, then I think we'll fly. Jason Mandelli says, which academy players do you believe will make the step up next season and which the season after? I think this season you're going to see Potts, Earthy and Casey. And the season after, you might see Marshall and Scholes, because I still think Scholes is quite young. Although we could see him this year, we could see him step up this year. But they're the ones that I could see making a step up this year. I don't think we're going to see Mabama even if he stays. I don't think personally. I know we're trying to keep Johnson, but I do think that we'll see Mabama move on. Kerry says, would you rather sing every time you speak or dance every time you walk? Well, I've got an amazing voice, so I'd rather sing every time I speak, because I'm a little bit rotund and I'd be blowing out my arse if I had to dance everywhere I went. Simon Taylor says, question, what's happened to Gary, John and Mickey? Well, Gary was last seen, he was building his fifth shed and he forgot to put a door in. No one's seen him since. John's filming the next season of Red Wolf, I think. He's doing really well. Mickey's at Centre Parks in the Shire. So yeah. No, we're just taking a break from live shows. That's all. And I'm doing this as a challenge. So every morning, and the reason you're seeing my ugly mug every morning is because I'm doing this as a challenge for myself, and people are just taking a bit of a break. They're enjoying the Euros. So we'll be back. We'll be back at full pelt. Don't you worry about it. Paul Chambers says, hi, Nick, West Ham and Euros related. Did you see the very impressive Slovakia victory? Fantastic energy impressing. A couple of their players stood out for him. A centre-back called Bobby Vavro. A left-winger called Duda. And he likes the fact that we're looking at South American players. But this would mean long-haul flights for international duties if selected. So looking a bit nearer to home might be a good idea too. Yeah, I think Tim likes his South American trip, so loves a bit of scouting out in Rio, doesn't he? From the beach and his budgie smugglers. Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you. I think there's some very good players in this tournament. But are you not nervous about signing players off the back of a good tournament? Because tournament football is different to league football. We've seen it over time. Some players can look really good in a tournament, can't they? And then really shit in the league. I don't think I'd sign anyone off the back of a tournament. I know clubs do, and because players' values increase, it gives them exposure, and I know it does happen. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. I mean, was it Romania? They had fucking Dragovic, whatever his name was, not the Tottenham player, the one with the top knot, the other one. I'm sure it was Dragovic. He looked fucking good as well. But this, again, you just don't know. You don't know what they're going to look like in the Premier League. It is different tournament football. I don't know. Ryan says, has there been any players you've taken a keen eye on in the Euros so far? So that's similar sort of question. Ryan asked it first, actually, because I'm going backwards. So apologies, Ryan. So, a keen eye, no, not really. I thought Mbappe looked good yesterday. He actually didn't. See his broken nose? Fucking, that was a proper break, wasn't it? He got proper spanked. but everyone, because we're doing a predictor league and a dream team in our community, going really well actually. Fucking Gary's sitting top of one of them. I think he's sitting top of the predictor league, but he was knocked off the top. He was sitting top of both yesterday. Gary was, but it's all changed now. I think so. He's starting to slip down. He peaked too early. He shot his load too soon. That's what he did. Yeah. No, not really. Not really. Not that I can think of. Not that I'd want to sign. Like I said to you, I'm always very sceptical off the back of a tournament anyway. Ryan says, is there any truth in the link with Ferran Torres? And is he any use to the process of building the puzzle? Ferran Torres from Barcelona, ex-Man City player. I've seen the reports. I've asked a few questions. And the response I'm getting back is it's like a Sterling link. You know, he's a player that's going to want to come in and have about 2.5, 300 grand a week. Ain't going to happen. It's not. Good player, great player. I don't quite know what he is. I think because he's not really a conventional number 9, is he? And I don't think he's the most amazing winger in the world either. So I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure what he is, Ferran Torres. I would take him. I'd be happy with him. But these are players that, you know, when they've played for these big clubs, you've got to be looking at the salaries they're going to be commanding. No, I don't think so. You know, because you notice I haven't even spoken about the link to Sterling. I've just mentioned it now, but I've heard and seen this link for a while. It's bollocks. All right, just so you know. Just so you know. But there's more chance of us signing Torres than Sterling. Put it that way. Paul Beaton, the sweaty sock, by his own admission. That's what he says there. A few Scottish players in the past have done well for West Ham, so my question is, are there any of the Scotland national team that you think could get into the West Ham squad? For me, Billy Gilmour would be quality in midfield, intelligent and has a quality first touch. And if you're a team looking to keep the ball, he's a man for that. Billy Gilmour's about the only one. He is. I'll be honest with you. Scotland is shit. They're really shit. But Billy Gilmour's a good player. He is a good player. No, that's a lie, actually. I can't think of his name now. Who's the fullback? The fullback for Liverpool. Him. I just can't think of his name. He's gone. You know, fucking established Premier League player, and I can't think of his name. But yeah, obviously he's a good player as well. Ben Howe says, who would be your choice as next England manager? Not Gareth Southgate and not David Moyes, because they are the same person. One's just a little bit more miserable than the other, but their style of football is the same. I want to see us go out and get a personality next. I really do. I don't think it's rocket science for international football. They don't get much time with the players. It isn't like they can embed a philosophy. That takes weeks and months at a club. You're going out there, you're getting the best players from the country. You don't need to tell them how to play football. You need to pick them in the right formation, build a bond between them, and motivate them and excite them. And I think, for me, people are going to laugh, but somebody before this tournament of the profile of a Harry Redknapp, somebody who's just going to come in and give a positive vibe around the camp, put an arm around people, make them laugh. You know, like I said to you, these people don't need to be told how to play football. And somebody who's going to grow some bollocks and stop playing their mates as well, because it is like to keep on playing Harry Kane at the moment. I mean, he was injured towards the end of last season. He's not fit. He ain't firing. Why the fuck is he like the first name on the team sheet? Tell me. I don't, and he plays for the full 90 minutes. Tony and Watkins ain't going to get any time whatsoever. None. They would have been far more suited, both of those players, against Serbia, because they were bombing on a bit. Serbia trying to get a goal back, especially in the second half. We needed somebody that could run in behind so we could start hitting balls in the channels. Kane can't fucking do that. He can't. He's too static. He can't, but he won't. You know, a lot of those players ain't going to see any minutes. I mean, rather than Gallagher coming on, maybe someone like Eze should have come on. You know, Foden should have come off. He was poor. But Southgate ain't going to do it. He's got his favourites. I was surprised he brought Saka off. I've got to be honest. So, who I didn't answer the question. Who would be your choice as next England manager? Do you know what? I'm going to go for a crafty German. Jurgen Klopp. How about that? A German is going to win us the World Cup. There you go. I'd go for Jurgen. Oh, come on. You'd love him, wouldn't you? Tony Hodgson says, if you could have one player back from from time past, who would it be? Paolo Di Canio. Paolo Di Canio all day long. I love that player. That was around about the time I completely fell in love with football, with West Ham, and it was all because of him. I'd been going football for an awful long time up to that point, but it was that period where I really fucking fell in love with football. Just seeing the man's passion, I loved it. I loved it. Such a special player. I'm not going to be able to get through all these, so I'll be able to knock through some of these tomorrow as well. But I've got some news I'm going to talk about tomorrow as well. John Barry says, if you had the ability to sign any player, past or present, who would you love to have seen wear the claret and blue? Sign any player, past or present? That's a good question. It is a good question. I mean, Nicola underneath has answered Marco van Basten. That would be good as well. Past or present? I'll tell you what. We'll stick with a present. Who would I sign? Who would I love to see at West Ham? Now, there can only be one, because I just think I'd love watching him. And it's going to be a boring answer. Wouldn't you have loved to have seen Messi in claret and blue? Seriously, if you could, because I think Messi is the best player there's ever been in terms of talent, ever. I know you've had Pele and you've had Maradona. Maradona was good as well, actually. But Messi, for me, wow. That's worth the admission fee alone. They could have put their prices up then and we wouldn't be protesting. Adam says, West Ham question for you here, mate. What is the best goal you've seen live? Ooh, best goal I've seen live. I'm going to go Andy Carroll at the London Stadium. I had the perfect position for it as well. The overhead kick, fucking brilliant. It was the Payet one as well, where he went on that solo run. That was impressive, and a lot of the goals. You know, the Crystal Palace free kick, that was good. The Crystal Palace free kick was good as well from Payet. Okay, so Ben Howe says, would you drop Phil Foden? Yes, I'll drop him. Not because he's shit, but because for whatever reason he's not fitting in this Southgate system. It's not happening for him. He's got to be dropped. There's too many good players sitting there to watch players underperforming on the pitch. Freddie Hill says, evening, Nick. My question is, what do you reckon about the links to Ryan Sessegnon? Based on the exercise that I did earlier on, where I was talking about the money that we've got to spend and the amount of positions that we've got to fill, if we could get Ryan Sessegnon on a free, I'd go and do it. Personally, I think he's a good player. And Tony Hodgson says, is it wrong to love pineapple on my pizza? Yes, it is. You're a wrong un, Tony. You're a wrong un. It's completely unacceptable. I don't agree with that at all. What are the games today anyway? Look. I don't know whether any of you heard of ZWiz? ZWiz.co. That is it's a comparison website for your flights and hotels. Honestly, it is the best one out there. Make a note of it. Make a note of it. ZWiz.co. Mate told me about that last week. Fantastic. Not that one. So we want... Oh, look, Gary's sitting top of the Predictor League. He's sitting top of the Predictor League. And what games we got today? Very, very quickly. Very quickly. We've got Turkey, Georgia, and Portugal, and the Czech Republic. That's what we've got today. So, very exciting. Portugal, that one there, I think a lot of people are sort of banking on that for their dream teams. Hang on, let's get rid of the phone very quickly. Okay, right, time to go to the masturbator. Give us a minute.
How you doing, everyone? It's the masturbator here with a bit of dinner around my mouth still, but we'll leave that there for later. I've got a question for you all. Like before I met my missus, I never used to do this, but now I do. There's me van, all for the drivers, yeah? So first of all, never used to think about it. I used to just pull into a bay, and that was it. But now I've met her, I always reverse in. Don't know why. What do you do when you get into a bay? Do you just drive straight into it, or you reverse in? Mrs says it makes life easier when you get out, but don't know really. But what do you do? Straight in or reverse in to make it easier?
Yeah, that's definitely a sensible female influence there, Sam, because I don't ever think about what's going to happen when I drive out. I think about what's easiest about getting in the parking space. Don't get me wrong, sometimes I will reverse in, but I don't ever think that far ahead. I don't. You know, sometimes I do just, you know, I will just drive in. You know, because what is it my missus absolutely hates? I drive into a parking space. So if you're you know, rather than sort of reverse in and parallel park, if there's enough space, I'll mount the curb. I'll drive in at an angle, mount the curb, judge it fucking perfectly every time. I'll basically just swing in. Obviously, don't smash the curb. I'll creep up it, but literally always pull over. I'm about 1 inch, 2 inches away from the curb because I'm class. It's what I do. It's what I do. You know, I'm lazy as well. You know, don't know whether you can tell. I am lazy. So what we got here then? So Tony reverses. Course you do, Tony. Goody two shoes and Artel. You all reverse. Honestly, live a little. Just drive in. Park diagonal across 3 bays. That's what I do. Stuart reverses in. Honestly, I'm disappointed. Disappointed. You're West Ham men. That's it, Happy. She drives straight in. There you go. Maybe I've got it the wrong way around. Maybe I'm the female. I don't know. But yeah, no, I'll drive in. I don't care. I worry about what's going to happen when I leave. I never think that far ahead. What's that? Tyre fitter sponsors coming next, Nick. Yeah, no, I know. Darren Higgins says, try driving around Bangkok. Mate, I tell you what, when I went to Thailand, that is an experience. That's the one place I've been to in the world where when you land, you feel like you're on a different planet. It was amazing. Probably my favourite destination. We went to Phuket. But fucking hell, like you leave the airport. I saw there was like a woman on a moped. It was like late at night. It was about 1 a.m. All the markets are open, aren't they? Because that's when people do their shopping. There's food markets open. And this woman had an old knackered moped with like a fucking shopping trolley, cable tied to it, with all of her kids in it. She's going along the street, potholes everywhere and everything. Yeah, it was definitely an experience. I'm selfish. Yes, I am selfish. I am. Especially, don't forget, I live in North London. They're all Tottenham fans around here, so fuck them. Do you know what I mean? That's my losing a bit of timber. Thanks very much, mate. Are we discussing a euphemism here? You've got a filthy mind, Iggy. Filthy mind, mate. Yeah, this is a thing, right? I'm going to say all of you lot that think that far ahead and that are that worried, reverse park in. That's the sort of thing Moyes would do. It's the sort of thing Moyes would do. He's the sort of person that charges his phone when he's on 99%. He's the sort of bloke that drives round roundabouts twice in case he's being followed. You're like Moyes. That's what you like. Don't be like Moyes. Be a car crash. Go straight in. Bosh. You got somewhere to be. You ain't got time to dick around reversing in. Right. Look, anyway, thank you very much for joining me this morning. It's flown this morning. Like I said to you, tomorrow we will have a topic that I will focus on completely. But that was good to do a Q&A. And there were some really, really good questions there as well. So thank you to everyone that did send your questions in. It did help me. And I'm going to leave you with Jay. Enjoy Tuesday. Go and smash it straight in the face. Come on, you irons.
What's happening, people? The hammers, Gal's thumbs. Gal, I want to see those thumbs, mate. Remember what you told me? Anyway, I know what you're thinking. It's a bit red, isn't it? Whether you're talking about my head or the t-shirt, you're right on both fronts. So, well done, Nick. Day 10 in his journey into the mornings. Now, I don't know about you. I'm really getting to like Nick's morning shows. I think they're getting better and better. So I think, did he say 28 days or 30 days? I think this should just be part of the Carrot and Booze crack-on sessions. So, Nick, Monday to Friday, no excuses. If you snods, I'm going to fight it. Right, so today's one. Now, before I give my little inspirational bit about today, I want to just give you a bit of credence where it comes from. So for those who may not know, I'm a cancer coach. So for the last 10 years, I've worked with many people that, I don't like this label, but to make it make sense, that have been on their deathbeds. And in some cases, I've listened. I've had some of the last conversations and last words people have shared. And it's been a real eye-opener for me. It's changed me completely. That's why I'm so confident to get on these and be positive about these messages now, because this is the important part. I know at some point I'm going to be in that position, whether it be through sickness or whatever it is. I'm going to get to a part of my life where this physical bit is coming to an end. What happens after, who knows? What I want to share today is about memories, because what I can tell you as a fact, every single one of you, there's nothing morbid about this, it's beautiful. Every single one of you, come the end, when you're sitting, laying, wherever it is, from my experience of when you know the end is coming, all you do is you go over your memories. That's what you get left with. Every single day we're building. We get the opportunity, we get the privilege to build more memories. You get the privilege to build more memories about the most important person in your life ever, and that's you. So choose to feel happy, choose to be kind, choose to feel grateful, and build memories that when it comes to the end, you can look back on with a smile and really love the person who you are, who you have been. Go Yanks! Turn it off, Jay.